Ready? 5 seconds. Start. Mr. Chairman, sir, I feel that terrorist activities in North India began with the creation of Bangladesh in 1971. The fact is that regionalism, economic disparities, unemployment, favoritism, dishonesty, corruption, fanaticism, historic events, political and geographical reasons, cultural conflicts, laxity on the part of judiciary and increasing corruption, inaction on the part of the government employees, all such reasons gave rise to terrorist tendencies, killings and kidnappings in the country. Next para. Mr. Chairman, sir, I would not talk about the terrorist activities in Punjab and Kashmir, as many honorable members have already expressed their views in the House about the killings by terrorists in these areas. But I would like to speak especially about Uttar Pradesh, as I hail from there. The terrorism has spread from Punjab and Kashmir to Uttar Pradesh. This way, many areas of Uttar Pradesh are in the grip of terrorism now. In September 1991, a SDM and a Kanungo of Bilaspur Tahsil of Rampur district were kidnapped near my constituency, and they were released in a dramatic manner. Nobody knew what action was taken against the terrorist. Next para. This way, terrorism is rampant in Uttar Pradesh. In these days, very recently, a threat appeared in the Dainik Jagaran, Jhansi of 6 to 7 December, which we read, and it was stated in that report that the police chief, within bracket Director General of Police, and the Home Minister of Uttar Pradesh would not be able to see the dawn of 1st January 1992. It is a very serious situation, an alarming situation. Of course, it is a matter to be given serious thought by central government. But what could the central government think in this matter is well known to us. Ninth Lok Sabha was dissolved only because of the race to the post of the Prime Minister, and with the result, elections to the 10th Lok Sabha were held. What was the law and order situation during the elections to the 10th Lok Sabha? What to talk of deteriorated law and order situation in Punjab, Bengal, Assam, Kashmir, and Uttar Pradesh? Former Prime Minister Sri Rajiv Gandhi was killed in Perumbadur. I wondered what the CBI and CID were doing. Where was law and order? If at all did it exist? How was it possible to kill the former Prime Minister? He was killed and the entire country mourned his death, but our Chief Election Commissioner Sri T.N. Session postponed the elections for Legislative Assembly and Parliament by 25 days. It is not known how many candidates suffered financial loss. Next para. It is no use to discuss terrorism and kidnappings in our country. Is it possible to check such activities? We discuss things in this house only under some section and leave them there in the house and forget. Prior to this, the Prime Minister was also killed. Very recently, a freedom fighter, former minister, and a senior leader was killed in Andhra Pradesh. We pay homage and there ends the matter and no action is taken in the matter. I believe that so long as favoritism, employment, atrocities on and suppression of people will continue. The proverb idle mind is a devil's workshop will continue to prove true. There would not be any abatement in terrorism, kidnappings, and killings. Kidnapping has become an industry these days, and many extremist politicians and some dacoits have joined this industry. Uttar Pradesh is on the top in the incidents of kidnappings. There were 3878 cases of kidnapping in 1990. It is followed by Bihar, where 2138 cases of kidnapping took place. Then there is Rajasthan, where 2107 people were kidnapped and 2681 people were kidnapped in the Union Territory during the past 3 years. The rate of ransom demanded per kidnapping in Ghaziabad and Delhi is rupees 50 lakh each. Investment wise, it is the cheapest industry and no action is going to be taken. Next para. Mr. Chairman sir, therefore, keeping in view that fast deteriorating situation, it would be better to call a meeting of the leaders of all parties and formulate a national policy. And then this policy should be implemented. Then alone some solution of the problem is possible. Then forces engaged in combating terrorism possess inferior weapons. The people having inclination towards terrorism are in possession of the sophisticated foreign weapons. When 6 policemen were killed in Dhanwara, they possessed 315 bore rifles and the terrorist had AK-47 and AK-74 rifles. How unfortunate it is. I would like to suggest that the respected people of the areas where terrorist activities are on the increase should be given licenses for AK-47 rifles. If licenses are issued for AK-47 and AK-74 rifles, people would be able to protect themselves. Besides, police protection should be provided to the people living in border areas. The most important things is that the police itself should be brought under control. Honorable Home Minister is present here. Stop.